Crafters. In tonight's video, we're going to be making a beautiful Christmas card using the Shepherd's Care Cling Stamp Set. And we'll be using the Eyelet 3D embossing folder to make our own background paper. I cased this card right out of the mini catalog, and you can find it on page 57 and follow along with me and see if you can't see how I tweaked it to make it my own. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Papercrafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by, and if you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down, and we'll get started. Our first promotion is the Starter Kit Special. Join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator between October 1st to the 31st. Get $150 in products of your choice for only $99. That's a $30 added value. Our next promotion, you can save up to 30% on our favorite kits. Between October 1st and October 31st, you can select one or more of our kits and save up to 30% on each kit. And we happen to have 2 new kits that came out the 1st of October. Next, I'd like you to check out our new scrapbook products from the September 2024 scrapbooking brochure. And don't forget the clearance rack was just loaded, and you'll want to make your selections right away because they don't last long. Well, here's a card we're going to be making tonight. It's made from our Shepherd's Care. And we're going to use this stamp. This is on the inside, this stamp, and this stamp. Then we're going to use the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. And then we're going to use this die cut right here from the Everyday Details dies. It's the smallest rectangle die. And we're going to start with our embossing folder. We're going to take a piece of Pool Party cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And we're going to put it through our largest cut and emboss machine. And we're going to do our embossing folder. And I like to do it this way so I can line it up here. See, there's a line right there. And I can see through it. And then I just fold it up. And then we'll run that through our embossing folder. I'm just looking to make sure that they're even on the edges. It looks good. And we'll need to use this number 1 plate. And we're going to do this sandwich right down here. So the number 1 and number 4. And here's our number 4. And I'm going to put this in next. And I put the folded edge right here in first. And then we'll put the sandwich on top of it. And then we just start cranking it out. And there we go. There's one. Okay, next we're going to stamp this. And we're going to stamp it with our crown cake. And we're going to use our Peace on Earth. I'm just going to make sure there's not any stuff at the bottom there. We'll just wipe that off. We'll do it again. I didn't know if I had touched anything there. And we're just going to put it right here. There. Actually, I'm just going to put it to the side right now. Then I'm going to bring in our large cut and emboss machine again. And I'm going to use this sandwich right here. It's a number 1 plate, a number 2 plate, and 2 number 3s. Here's the number 1. This is the number 2. And here's a number 3. Well worn and well loved. And then we're going to put this in here. And we're going to put on our die. And we'll line that up. We're going to use some of this tape here. Labeling cover-up tape. It sticks securely, removes cleanly, and you can use it over and over again. And I've got a piece here that we used earlier. So I'm just going to line this up. That looks as best as it can be. And I'm just going to tape it down. And then we're cranking this through. There. And we'll hang on to that for later. And then we're going to need our 2 sheets here. This is that Country Lace, and one is for the inside of the card and one's for the outside. And I want to stamp the inside first. We're going to use our crumb cake again. And I want to stamp it, make sure I'm going straight up and down. Did much better on this one. And then we're going to do it right here. There. And then we're going to take this, do the same thing, and I'm going to bring it here so that I'm doing straight up and down. And we're going to do it right down at the bottom here. Here. Then we're going to stamp this. With the bigger stamps, I like to stamp it this way rather than the other way. I'm going to have to wipe the sides because I can see that I've got ink on the sides there. Then we can stamp this just on the side right here. And I'm going to press it down there. And then we are going to take our stamp here. We'll get that one done. And I'm not doing a very good job today pulling these straight up because I'm getting it on the edges here and I have to come back in and rub that off. And then we'll do this. And we want it to be right about here. There. And we also need to do our star. And we're going to use our wild wheat for the star. And that's going to go right above this. And I want him to be looking up at it, so I'm going to have it right up here. I'm going to take some time to clean my stamps. And I'm going to just stamp off. This is the wet side here. This is the dry side because there is a sunshine here. And this has a raindrop. So I'm going to spray this with some Stampin' Mist, and then we can dry this. Okay, and I'm trying to stamp off so that I don't have to clean this as often. All right, we are done with that. Oh, one more. This first one that we had done. We are done with that. Now we can bring this back in here. So next we want to take our piece that's cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, or 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And this is the Lost Lagoon. And that's what it said to use in the catalog. And I don't think it wanted me to use the Pool Party, but I thought that looked really great on there, so that's why I pulled that out. And we're going to glue this down, and I'm going to use some tear-in tape. Only I'm not going to tear it because my hands have arthritis and I just can't grip it to tear it. So I'm going to use tear-in tape. I could use glue, and I have used glue in the past when we had a 3D image stamped on top of it, but this tear-in tape is going to make sure that I get good contact. And I'm going to try and burnish it with my fingers because I don't want to flatten that out at all. And then we'll do some more at the edges. And one more in the center. That's to make sure that that doesn't pull up there. Okay, and this was cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. Don't remember if I went over that earlier, so that's why I did it now. And I'm going to try and pull these paper off the back of the tape, and I'm going to put it on the card, leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides, and that'll be 0.3 centimeters. Okay, so I'm making sure we got the right side of the card there. I'm going to make sure I've got this lined up. We want to leave 1/8 at the bottom, the right and left side, and at the top. And then we're just going to use our bone folder on the inside of the card, just to make sure we've got contact there. I'm not putting a lot of pressure there. Then we can glue this now. That would be great. Don't you think that would look fine just like that? But here we did some coloring, so we're going to do some more coloring. But let's go ahead and glue this on the inside. So we're going to use our white glue. This is in our catalog, so you can order that. And I have some in this glue gun. The glue gun is not part of Stampin' Up! Products, but it does help me with my arthritis, so that's why I use it. And I'm going to see if it's going to start for me right away. Once it gets going, it does a pretty good job. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that it's right in the center there. And I'm often finding that it's getting tipped out like this. So I got to make sure that goes in the center there. Okay, let's get this down. And I'm going to leave, I think, about 1/4 of an inch for a border. I got to take a look here. Let's see what we did here. We did about 3/8 of an inch for a border. And we're going to leave that on all 4 sides. There. And then we're just going to use our bone folder on the back side. Make sure we've got it contact paper, touching paper. Then we're going to use our markers to finish this up. So we've got our Pool Party, the light and the dark, and then we've got our light Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to start with our Pool Party and see if we can't get that to work for us better than the other one. And I'm going to go down here. I'm going to change it to the nub. Probably should have been light crumb cake here. And it went on the outside there. Then we're going to bring in our light Pool Party. And I'm going to use the brush. I think I like that. And I'm not even going to use the light Lost Lagoon. But I am going to come back with our color lifter, and I'm going to go over the band just to make sure that I don't have Pool Party in there. I'd like to see some of the light color in there. Then we're going to go over our dark crumb cake right here. And this is where I was saying I probably should have been dark crumb cake and not so much Pool Party. And there's another rope for his waistband, so I'm going to come back to that. And we got this down here. Okay, and I'm going to use our light crumb cake, and I'm going to use the broad tip. Okay. Next, I'm going to take our petal pink, and I have dark petal pink, and I'm going to go over the lamb's ears. And there's like the back of the lamb. There's like little hash marks there, so you kind of just follow those for the dark coloring, and then you come back in with the light over the whole thing. And then we'll get a little bit better coloring there. And I'm not finding my other, here it is, light petal pink. We're going to go back up there. Sorry if my head was in the way. And I'm going to come back with our color lifter more on the body part because we wanted to have a little bit more, give it some coloring there. Then we're going to take our Wink Stella and we're going to go over the star. And then we'll do it down here. And I'm just going to go over the tops of the trees, the top of the houses, a little bit of the tree there. And we'll do the same thing on the inside of the card. Top of the trees, the houses, there. So I think what we need to do is put this on the card. I just want this all to dry real quick. And then we'll just put it on at a slant. So I am going to go and put this on the front of the card, and I'm going to use my tear and tape again. And I'm going to burnish it. Then we can just pull the papers off. And I'm going to do this at a slant here. And then we'll burnish it with our fingers rather than with the bone folder. We'll put that on with our dimensionals. And I'm going to use 3. I'll do 1 right in the middle. All right, and we're going to put it somewhere above the lamb's head and toward the bottom. And I'm going to line it up so it's square on the card base, not on that stamped image. So let's bring in this other card. This is what I thought the card in the catalog told me to do. And these are the changes I made. I lightened this piece up here. And then I used a lighter stamp here than I did here. And I added the Wink Stella on this and this. Which one do you like best? I almost forgot. I told you I was going to do the color lifter on the belt. Since you don't see the belt anymore, we won't do the color lifter. But I need to put the wild wheat down here, but I don't have a wild wheat marker, but I do have a wild wheat stamp block. So I'm just going to put a little bit on this blending pen, and then we'll just go ahead and put it down on here. And I'm actually going into the side here, so I'm not ruining the top of the stamp pad. I'm just going back over some of the spots again. And I obviously don't have a light or a dark, I just have wild wheat. That'll be fine. And I think I'm done with that. So I'm going to bring in our stamping pad, and I'm going to kind of erase this on here. So you just want to keep going until it goes clean again. Then you know the blending pen is good. I am not seeing that coming out. Oop, there's a little bit more. All right, and then I can put this away. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in 3 weeks on Sunday, November 17th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.